Thank you for listening to Depictions Media Radio. Welcome back, everybody. I'm here today with Tara Jacobson, and she is the owner of marketingartfully.com with over 19 years experience in the marketing industry, which translates into highly successful marketing systems for her DIY and entrepreneur clients. Tara has a strong history in psychology, entrepreneurship, Etsy, small business, real estate, author marketing, combined with her 100-mile-an-hour tell it like it is personality, have earned her the title the Queen of Marketing Ahhh from her raving fans. So, welcome to the show, Tara. And you have
Hey, Michael.
And you have some tips for us today, and welcome to the show.
Hello. Yes, today we're going to talk about affiliate marketing tips, and I have 5 of them for your peeps.
Yay, 5. So why don't we get started?
Okay, my number 1 tip across everything that you do is to pick something that you love. And this is because I watch, I follow a lot of marketing people, and I spend a lot of time watching videos and webinars and things like that, because I figure I can always pick up a nugget here or there. And I'll see a lot of the people teaching affiliate marketing that go into ClickBank or go into any of these places and teach you the very first thing to look for is the highest EPC, estimated payment per click or something like that. And then that you would want to find high-paying clicks rather than finding something that you love. And I can give you an amazing example of how this could really work against you. I do vintage Etsy products because I got to be able to teach my people how to do Etsy. And so I sell a lot of stuff to preppers. End-of-days preppers, all those kinds of people. I ship a lot to Oregon. I ship a lot to Utah. And the reason they like my stuff is it's made in America. A lot of it is, old-fashioned canning jars, old-fashioned lights that don't require electricity, things like that. And so I truly went into those kinds of places and thought, well, my market already likes this kind of stuff. Maybe I could sell them some other things. Well, come to find out that they're, I would be found out right away as a faker because I live in a subdivision in Florida, and there's no way that I could talk to them in the way that they would really, as far as canning enough for 6 months or doing all that. So if I had gone down that road, my integrity and their ability to trust me would have gone away right away. So definitely start with something that you love, that you have, and it doesn't have to be a professional authority, right? Like, I sell a ton of artsy-fartsy supplies, and literally, I am a gal who decided about a year ago that I was going to do art, and I go to Michael's and order stuff online. That's my authority for being an artsy affiliate, but I sell a whole heck of a lot of it.
I'm not that great of a crafter. I have some working knowledge of of canning. Most of that is because my wife is the one who's the canner and the crafter, and I agree. When you're talking to a certain audience, if you don't have that same level of knowledge that they have, and you're just trying to make a fast buck, they're going to find you out pretty quick, and shove you aside.
Absolutely, that's going to be bad.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, are you ready for tip number 2?
Tip number 2.
Okay, have 2 to 3 main affiliate places you represent. And if you'd asked me this 6 months ago before everything changed, I would have said start with 1 or 2. But maybe you don't know if you're not doing a ton of affiliates. I have friends who are Amazon affiliates,
mm-hmm.
and their income has dropped by 30% because Amazon went from paying 5 to 10% commissions to paying 1 to 3% commissions on a lot of their products that some of these gals had been promoting across their entire website. And that was devastating to them. And I have also friends who had only focused on the travel industry. They were travel bloggers.
Mm-hmm.
They're still travel bloggers, but nobody's traveling, right? So
right.
If they weren't diversified into other areas, say that they also liked restaurants or cooking or doing, to where now they could do copycat recipes, cook your favorite restaurants at home, or Disney, how to have a Disney party at home. So you do want to have some different ones. And the thing here is that you can find things that are kind of niche-y. So my best affiliate that I get checks from every month is an affiliate for an Etsy software company, and I have a private agreement with them, and they send me checks every month because my people, one segment of my people are Etsy sellers, but if anything were to happen, say that software company, heaven forbid, would close down, or Etsy were to change something drastically, I would be able to pivot because I'm not just promoting that one company or that one market niche. I'm promoting to them and to realtors and to artsy people. And so it's super fun to start with 1 or 2 really tight ones, but then see if you can diversify as you go in case something were to happen.
Right. So diversification, so we keep that backup going, so that we don't have a extreme loss in income. Right.
Absolutely. All right. Number 3. This may be my most one that I talk to people about is market where you like. Right. My marketing is a lot of. I do blogging. That's my favorite thing to do in the whole world. If I could only pick one thing all day, every day to do, it would be blogging. So I like to blog. And then I, of course, have an email list attached to my blog, and then I have a Pinterest account, right? So
right.
that is like the little path people go down when they're in my marketing funnels. Those are the places they're going to find me, right?
Mm-hmm.
I see so many people taking a Facebook class and then trying to figure out how to do affiliate marketing on Facebook when what they really love is making stupid TikTok videos or YouTube videos, or somebody is a LinkedIn maven, but they get told that they can't, promote, their thing doesn't work on LinkedIn, so they shouldn't try it there. I truly feel that you should, people are funny. They'll do more of what they already do, and they will do absolutely nothing of what they don't like to do, no matter how much you lie to yourself. So if you already have a marketing channel that you like to use, start there, really double down, really, figure out the ways that you can promote your affiliate products on there. And then if you've totally done that for say 6 months and you're perfect, then you can go to another one, but don't try to do lots of them, and don't try to do one just because you've heard that it's the best place to do it, even if you don't.
that also makes a lot of sense because as far as because we use here in Depictions Media, we do use affiliate marketing to keep the bills paid. Because hey, everything these days is either software as a service or you always have somebody else that you have to pay to keep your business opening, right? So,
oh yeah.
So I absolutely love doing radio. It was like it's a wonderful passion, being able to talk to different people, and then take that information back to other people so that the people I interview get known, right? So
right.
it's a lot of fun. And if I had to do something else to promote things, it's like it may fall a little flat because it's not my passion. So, yeah.
And years ago, I fell into that category of people who never get 10 podcasts under their belts. One of my marketing friends and I think we got up to number 9, mm-hmm. and then we stopped podcasting because it wasn't a passion of either one of us. And so I think that's a thing that we see is that if it isn't something you really like to do when the troubles come up, like I've been blogging since 2008. I am a blogging, nut job. Mm-hmm. But that is something that I adore doing. And I think that you reached out to me to be a guest and didn't feel weird at all because you knew you like talking to people. You have a group of people who you know what your people like to listen to. Mm-hmm. That's when those Venn diagrams of what you love to do and how you can make money overlap in a really natural way, right?
Right. Absolutely. Well, while we're at this, why don't you share a couple of the blogs that you actually do? Oh,
my 2 main blogs, I have several blogs, but my 2 main blogs are marketingartfully.com, mm-hmm. and there I talk a lot about Pinterest. I do talk about affiliate marketing. I talk about Etsy, and I talk about realtors. And then I have my Artsy Fartsy blog, Artsy Fartsy Life, which is it's an art storage, art craft, caregiver. It's more of a lifestyle blog, business consumer blog.
Okay. Yeah. Now you got me stumped as which one I follow more closely, because because as you're describing, it's like, wait a second, I know that blog. It's like
well, I will tell you. Okay, so I'm gonna have 6 things. Okay, because I'm sneaking in 3A.
Okay, 3A.
3A. So I did business to business, marketing to small businesses for the last, 20 years of my business. I always worked business to business, and I would see people that would have crazy numbers of blog viewers or, huge Facebook pages or things like that. And I'm like, dang, I am busting my hump over here trying to get, I've gotten up to 100,000 a month on my marketing blog. It doesn't happen every month, but I can't imagine what I would have to do to double that amount when I have been working my face off. And then I started this business to consumer blog where I'm talking to talking about doing art to ladies who like to buy craft supplies. And I am here to tell you that I'm getting upwards to 60,000 hits a month within 2 years. Because there are more ladies who care about craft supplies or like even one certain kind of craft supply than all the people who are interested in Etsy and Pinterest marketing in the entire world. Right? Mm-hmm. And so if you can pick something that human beings like to do rather than is business related, you can really, and it doesn't have to, it doesn't even have to be your main business focus or whatever. That's my little fun side project, but it's doing really well because the numbers are there because it's business consumer.
That makes sense because one of the a lot of the affiliate links that I use, because I have kind of this little fashion thing of hobby of mine going on, and
right?
you'd be surprised, like especially like shoes and different types of outfits. It's like people eat that stuff up. So,
and isn't that crazy? I mean, like, isn't that crazy to you that you can work so hard on a podcast to help marketers or to help business people, and you're talking to only a small percentage of the people in the world who have a business who actually care about marketing, and then whatever kind of marketing you're talking about, where all guys, I'm assuming it's guys' shoes you talk about, no judgment here. But if you're talking about guys' shoes, half of the population wears guys' shoes, right?
Yes, it is guys' shoes, and it also is ladies' shoes. Kind of out there, because everybody who actually knows and actually gets to see me in person, they know that I usually have at least 3 inches underneath me. So.
Oh my goodness, that's fun.
Part of the promotion of what we do here is be yourself. We should all have the right to do that, right? So.
Oh, absolutely. And the weirder your stuff is, so like what I'm writing today is a blog post about I want to modernize steampunk colors. So steampunk is those really weird people who wear the goggles and the top hat and all that stuff. And I really love that look, but I don't love the colors. Like I've been buying lots of art supplies and they're too brown. Right?
Yeah,
I'm like,
it's a little on the drab side. Is like why I love like some of the lines and the fashion that they produce. Is like, can we add a little more color to it?
Yeah, it's gorgeous, but it doesn't. But I'm not okay with the colors, so I'm literally writing a blog post today where I am updating their colors. And you know what? Anytime I've written a funky blog post like this, so number one, the normal steampunk people will be mad at me, right? Like, they're going to be, those are not official steampunk colors. And then the people who needed to hear you can be yourself and you can love steampunk and these colors at the same time, those are my people, right?
Right.
And so that's where you're going to find your people is where you overlap something you really, really like care about, and then something that other people like to do.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that. And that makes sense. We have to make sure that it's like about making sure you have the right audience for everything, right? And
right.
And if you're authentic to that audience, they love you, right?
Absolutely.
You become their queen, as it were.
See, there you go, right?
Yeah.
So, are you ready for the official number 4?
The official number 4, yes.
Make lots of content, right? We were talking before we started recording, and you found me. I got the opportunity to speak on a podcast because I have an email newsletter that I send out every week. I happen to be talking about it's affiliate marketing month at Marketing Artfully. I happen to be talking about affiliate marketing, and you emailed back and said, hey, you want to be on my podcast? That's how opportunity happens, is because you are doing something. So I put out a lot of blog posts I put out a lot of pictures, like Pinterest is on this gig where it likes new pictures. I love making pictures, right? That's my favorite thing in the world to do, so I'm making a ton of pictures. Somebody else might love doing Facebook Lives. Like, they're super excited to talk to their people every single day live. You know, there's so many ways to do content at this point that you need to be, if you're going to be an affiliate marketer, right? If you want to have an opportunity to get to talk to lots of people, you need to be putting out a lot of content, right? You need to have a podcast. You need to promote your podcast on different places. And I would say to most of the people who are listening, whatever you put out is good enough, right? Like, nobody really said that I get to pick the colors of the new steampunk, right? Like, I'm not waiting for somebody to tell me it's okay. And you know, with my artwork, oh my gosh, I have anxiety every day because I'm like, I haven't gone to art school. I haven't done anything official. But I think it's Ira Glass that talks about the difference between what we have in our head as quality work. So I'm sure for you, when you started your podcast, you had in your mind that you were going to be like doing This American Life quality with, you know, Barack Obama or Donald Trump on your podcast and all this happening. And when you started, it wasn't that good, right? And so Ira Glass talks about the difference between starting when you know that you're not good enough, and you will get better as you go. You can't get better without going, right?
Right. Oh, absolutely. I was pretty lucky because I was actually on FM radio, and I had a mentor who appeared with me on FM radio, who helped smooth out my edges and showed me the guidelines to actually doing a really good interview. You know, so I got lucky that way. But you know, my first couple of interviews, I was nervous and. It probably came across, right?
Well, you know it came across, and so that's the thing, I think, because I can tell you this exactly because I started posting my daily pages, which my daily pages sometimes are daily and sometimes monthly, but I call it my daily pages, right? Yeah. I started posting my daily pages from like day one, and I look back on some of those first days, and I'm like, I cannot believe I thought that was good. Like, why didn't anybody tell me? Well, it was fine, right? It just wasn't as good as I am now, like 6 months later or a year later. So that's the thing that I think when I say put out a lot of content, there are a lot of people who go, but I can't put out perfect content. And you don't need to be perfect. You just need to be really, really excited about whatever you're talking about and share that with as many people as you can.
And that makes sense. Because if you waited for perfect, you never get anywhere. And we're up to number 5, aren't we?
We're up to number 5. This is a good one.
Okay.
So I think they're all good, but this one is harder for me because I'm creative and not so numbery. But you need to track which of your things are working, right? So I tend to sell a lot of essential oils. I sell a lot of craft supplies. And I sell a lot of caregiver products, meaning for people with Alzheimer's, because my mother-in-law lives with us and she has Alzheimer's. Mm-hmm. And I have a bunch of posts that promote that, right?
Right.
So as you're looking at things, I've also done blog posts that I thought were amazing, but I don't really sell very many of them, right? So I can give you a good example. I love this little camera called a little printer called a Sprocket. And you can print right from your phone. And I think it's the most amazing thing in the world. But I have haven't sold very many. I think I've sold maybe 2, and you can track it through Amazon. You can track it through most of them, what products are selling.
Mm-hmm.
And so it would not behoove me to spend too much of my time doing more like gizmo posts for my people when I know that I do a lot better by focusing on other products that my people are buying, right? Like, I would like it if the sprockets sold more because they're a higher cost item than, say, colored pencils. But if my people like colored pencils, then that's what I need to be promoting, not just trying to promote things that they don't want.
Right. Yeah, that doesn't make a lot of sense to promote things that people don't want. You want to promote the things that people are going to just eat up and buy, right?
Well, yeah, and I think that's becoming clearer and clearer across all marketing and Google and blogging. Pinterest has gotten super funny. Like, they will, if you put up a Pinterest pin and they show it to a few people and nobody likes it, you have a chance of it catching on 3 or 4 months later, but in general, it's probably going to die, right? Like, they showed it to 20 people or they showed it to 100 people and nobody liked it. Mm-hmm. And then you'll put up another pin and you'll have 5,000 views and 20 clicks and this and that. Well, what that tells you is the people on Pinterest liked that better than the one that you did. And it's really hard as a business owner and as somebody who loves their stuff. Like, I work really hard on all my pins. I work really hard on all my pictures. Why don't they like that one? And I've really gotten good at saying, oh, they don't like it? Okay, fine. What's the next one I'm going to do, right? Like, I've taken all the emotion out of it, and I wouldn't say my feelings ever got hurt, but, that feeling of, well, maybe if I try this way, right? Like, don't try it that way. Just take each thing that's working well and double down on that.
Mm-hmm. That also makes sense, So we need to. You also said about tracking, so we need to actually track and follow the analytics of everything we're doing, right?
Yeah, and I think that you can. So this is a huge one. Pick one way to track it. So I had a gal the other day that I was watching something, and she was like, well, my Pinterest statistics and my Google statistics aren't exactly the same, and it's driving me crazy. And it was like the difference was 20 clicks or something like mm-hmm. that. Okay, don't worry about it, right? Like, get way more clicks so you would never notice the difference between 20 clicks first. Mm-hmm. And second, pick one way to track stuff. Like, are you tracking your dollar volume of income? Like, is that what's important to you? Are you tracking quantity of sales? Are you tracking email signups so that you can get, the ability to market to people down the line? Are you tracking number of followers, which is never a great metric? What are you tracking? And then follow that metric for a while. Now, you never know what a while is going to be. Sometimes you can follow it for 3 months, notice some things that you tweak, fix it, and then go on to another metric to try. And sometimes, like for me, I have to constantly be watching and seeing, like which of my blog posts are being ranked. If you look at my Pinterest for my business-to-business blog, the only ones they like are Etsy and realtor blog posts. I can make Pinterest blog posts all day long, and they don't like them, but my email list likes them. So if you know what you're doing it for, then you can target it specifically to the right portion of your audience so that they can get the best value, as opposed to just flying blind and not worrying about what's going on and hoping everything comes out all right in the end. And the tracking I find to be super fun. I check my stats every morning because I make money every day.
Right. Yeah. You're absolutely right about that. We the best way for us to track everything is we actually track number of downloads and listeners, because that's when we go look for another company to work with, that is what they ask us for. It's so you need to. Would you say that people need to actually figure out the best metric that supports their audience?
Well, yeah, and you can. And the thing is that people do not realize that they can influence that, right? Mm-hmm. So my email list, I used to have a pop-up so that people would come and, I would have a better chance of everybody who came to my site coming to my pop-up. What I noticed was my open rate went way down and my spam notifications went way up, and I was like, this is not what I want. I have 7,000 people. I clear my email list out a lot. But I have about 7,000 people who really look forward to my messages every week. They have, I don't get marked spam. I have a high open rate. I have a good sell-through rate to my affiliate product. There's a lot of good things happening with my email list. So I took that pop-up down because it wasn't of value to me. For you say you were to go onto another podcast to promote your business, right? Mm-hmm. Right. If you were looking for new podcast guests, if that was the metric that you were trying to do, you were trying to find new podcast guests because, say, it was when you started, then you would talk about getting, wanting people to come on. Because your metric is how many downloads you've had, instead of saying go to my website, you would say go to Apple, or say, a lot of the people are going to Spotify or something like that. Mm-hmm. That's how you as the marketer can influence things, by knowing what your metric is and sending the people to provide value to your business too. Right. Absolutely. So, since we're running out of time, again, the best ways for people to find you and to follow your blog posts and get on your email list, if that's what they want. If that's what they want. So my main website is marketingartfully.com. I have a ton of information, and it's for business owners, and it's not highfalutin marketing information. It's told in a way that normal people can understand. And then my artsy-fartsy life is if you mostly are a woman, and you like to do crafty things, you'll love it there. Or if you're an aging parent, then you can come too. Right. Okay. So thank you for joining us today, and I look forward to your next email, though. There you go. Well, thank you for asking me, and let me know. Sure to promote it to everybody. Okay. Thank you.
This show has been produced by Depictions Media. Please contact us at depictions.media for more information.